Tyler's clone. Welcome to the $25,000 added Ohio Open. This is the 4th U.S. Pro Billiard Series event, sponsored and presented by CueSports International and Predator. We have 60 players for this event. It's being held in conjunction with the CueSports International League Ohio State Championships. We are at the Roberts Center in Wilmington, Ohio, and the game is 10 ball. And what a match we have for you right now. This is George Tejada and Jeremy Jones.
Yeah, George, it should be a good one here.
Yeah,
a young gun and then a very young gun.
Exactly. We got T.Styer and his clone. Young man that he's actually coaching. He's 15 years old. Payne McBride with the 562 Fargo. He just came back from Austria in the World Junior Championships to meet his coach in the first round match of this Ohio Open. Game is 10 ball, 2 races to 4 with a spot shot shootout if each player wins one set. 30-second shot clock, 30-second shot extension per player, once per game. Predator tables, Arcadia Reserve cloth, the arena lights, Arcos balls.
Yeah, and both these guys just came from Austria. Tyler, really his best finish of the year. Hasn't had the year he probably has wanted, you know, in the bigger events. And end up getting second there in Austria last week to Kachi here in the European event of the same format. Now, did they not play? Because I was paying attention, but did they not play the single elimination rounds at the final 16 in that event? Because I was watching the bracket, and it seemed like the bracket never changed. So
I'm not sure, Jeremy. I didn't watch any of that tournament.
All right, nice open shot here for McBride.
Side pocket just narrowly misses it and rolls up on top of the 2.
He's not going to get a whole lot he can do here. Don't know if he can maybe feather it and run the cue ball a couple rails behind the 3 maybe, and the 9-ish. Well, Tyler, a considerable favorite in this match.
Yeah, he's 200 points higher. Fargorate points higher, but he coaches this young man, and I think he's got him pretty much emulating everything he does.
Well, taking a lot of time here. He uses the extension and not so sure he's very set on what he wants to do, and now he's going for the extension. So
wow,
he's got to get that going. The beeps are
8
coming.
seconds. Yeah.
Good thing for him is he doesn't have a very difficult shot. He wanted to
he
get a
didn't do
little more
much
there.
at all. Yeah. He wanted to go around that 3-8 and barely move that 2. Just left Tyler with an opening. He can do what he wants with this 2 ball, upper left-hand corner. He's still going to have the 5 to contend with. He might be looking to try to line up on the 3-10 combo.
Maybe. I thought the 5 maybe went in the side, but maybe not. Maybe a 3-10 is what we're looking at.
Yeah, the 5 does go in the side. It looks like it goes right by the 7.
Yeah, I would try to run out here myself.
Yeah. He lined up perfect on his 3 ball for the corner, so yeah.
Now Tyler, of course we're playing races to 4, so you know, nobody in the event, nobody next door, nobody in this town down the road you're going to take for granted in these races here, but you know, when this is a considerable favorite, probably maybe the biggest difference between 2 players
Fargo,
we'll see,
sure,
you know.
sure. I think you're totally right.
So we'll get at maybe, you know, Tyler not experimenting, that's for sure, but really focusing on trying to fall into a nice rhythm gain some confidence for some future matches without trying to look past this. But I mean, I think you're supposed to be realistic, that you're trying to, get the most out of this match, thinking you're going to win it, right? Try and play comfortably. It looks like he's just holding the ball here.
Well, that kind of begs a question. When you're 200 points Fargorate favored over your opponent, does that put a little bit more pressure on you? Could it? Looking like a fool missing?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, especially if some early games get away.
Sure.
And that's what I mean. You're not supposed to try and free will, but really enforce your process that you do in bigger matches, or let's say closer matches, matches you feel like are going to be closer. So I guess what I was trying to say was, George, don't get beyond what you normally do, just because you're a huge favorite. That's gonna really help you in later matches if you get that confidence going early. So
sure, you use this to build.
Yeah, in your process, like I said, Tyler has a process. He, just like most of us do, but when you have an easier match, it's easier to, play a little faster, skip a step here and there, and actually that's normally how matches can slip away. Tyler, who I know and many know, is one of the best breakers of 10 ball in the sport.
Is he tone it down for this table?
Well, he'll definitely change speeds. He's got a bunch of different speeds. That's the difference in him and many of the guys when it comes to breaking 10 ball. Now, he's pulled this out a little bit, and I'm not sure. I have to think about it, but why? It makes the four railers not as good. Makes the second balls not track as much.
Cue ball.
Yeah. So now we'll get to see the young man with ball in hand, and ball in hand can calm you down as best, probably more than anything in our sport.
Especially when it's open like this. Getting on that 2 is tough, though. He's going to have to come in. He's going to have to shoot that gap between the 9 and the side pocket.
Yeah, you may come below it. I don't know.
Would you consider taking a bank on that, too?
Probably not.
Okay.
Maybe. I mean, if the 3 was a little more open, I don't think it passes the 10 and 8 so easily. So
that's the problem I see is the 3. He's going to shoot over.
Follow this ball.
He's going to try to stun it over to the left between the rail and the 9. He's trying to just drag it straight over. Oh, why was he going short side?
I think he was trying to get in between the 9 and 2 with the cue ball, a real small area. So
that side pocket being there, I would definitely come underneath it. Again, this ball bangs if he chooses to take it on.
Looks like he's going with the safety into the 5 with the cue ball just lightly. Not going to get the complete hook, but definitely left it tough.
Extension pretty early. But what do you do? It looks like he can make it.
No, he can't.
No?
I don't think so. I think the 9's got him just a little bit. Could try to make it in the corner rail first. He could draw the ball. It looks like he's drawing it, trying to get shape. Trying to make it in the corner and get shape on the 3. Yeah. I think he's going to like this outcome, though.
He'll probably opt for the jump here, but I think I'd opt for the little masse.
Looks like he's going to kick at it. I like the kick between the 6-4 better, the long rail that way.
The long rail,
yeah.
yeah.
You're kicking towards congestion, which you always want to do. When he's hitting a high ball, watch out for the spread. Could miss this one. Depends on the speed. If he hits it soft, I don't like it. If he hits a little more speed, maybe so. Yeah, that's what it looked like with a high ball. He was going to miss it.
I actually, like I said, I kind of like the Masse, and then the cue ball comes straight across behind the 6-9.
Yeah, I think Tyler's sizing up a 10-ball kiss shot later in the rack. Looks funny to me.
Yeah,
looks so
doesn't
easy.
Doesn't look like he has a full ball. Oh, yeah, nope.
Now, both these guys, you know, I think they probably both arrived Monday back from Austria. So not a lot of time to, you know, acclimate back to the U.S. time zone and everything going on here versus there. So Europe, not that bad of a jet lag, especially coming back, but still a little different.
Yeah, well, I think that jet lag affects you and I a lot more than it affects these youngsters.
Maybe. It's a real thing, though. That's
yeah,
for
it
sure.
is. It's there. Your
Now,
mind can be in a daze.
Looks to me the kiss shot is going to catch a hair piece of the 8. The 10 is. That's going to bounce a little heavy. Yeah, I thought he had some worry there for a moment. And he actually got pretty nice.
Yes, he did. I was just looking at this from this angle over here, and this looks very doable with a little bit of right-hand English on this cue ball.
Yeah, as long as he hits it light, right? If he hits
Real
it
light.
heavy, this 10 could go into the 8 and miss it. But if he hits it light, I think he catches a hair of the 10 of the 8 and still makes it. Oh wow!
He didn't even play it.
Well, I don't know what he was playing there. He at the top of the 5.
He wasn't playing the 10 ball. He was
What was
playing
he
a safety.
What safety?
I don't know what safety he was playing.
The 5-8 combo, maybe?
I have hitting the top of the 5 threw me completely. I thought he was playing into the ball. It didn't look like it though, but I thought he was trying to make the 10 ball. I thought he could make it with a lot of right-hand English on the cue ball.
Yeah.
And hit the ball simultaneously.
Yeah, I'm not so sure.
I think he was afraid of hanging up the 10.
Yeah,
giving
but
up the
I'm
game.
just trying to figure out what he was doing with the shot he shot. Hitting the top of the 5. But only thing I could figure is maybe playing a 5-8 combo, but nevertheless got McBride back to the table. A little bit of an overcut there.
I believe at 15 he is the youngest player I've seen in any of these events.
Okay, everything very routine here, just a little right spin.
At the end of this, if these 2 balls are pocketed, we're going to go to a little break, and Tyler should be back to break the balls, leading 2-0. And we'll be back shortly. we're back with Tyler breaking, leading 2-0.
He scratched on his first break, so he'll want to shore that up a bit. Interested to see what balls really track when he hits them how he wants. Oh, he's cutting them. That's why he's moved the ball over. So, and I wouldn't doubt that stems from some success in Austria he had with this probably type of break. Because we saw in Arizona, Federer, who's one of the best 10-ball breakers there is from the middle of the table, never broke from the side, from the middle, went exclusively from the side and won the tournament.
Him and Christina were both breaking from there.
Yeah. A pretty easy layout here overall with a great starter on the 1. Just hold for the 2. 4 is near. I thought he could draw back for the side here. I would love to play this in the side. I'm a corners guy, but to me, this, I don't want a ton of angle on this 4-ball here. Maybe this is fooling me. Maybe he can't draw past the side so easily. Oh, he's stunned.
He just ran it down and up. A little more angle than he wants. I think he can still roll it in and
go
use
right
the 10.
between the 6-8, I think.
Okay.
Or 10-8, excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't want to clip that. This could cause some problems.
Cue ball.
Yeah. I thought that was the route he would go. I thought he put a little more spin on it than that, though.
Yeah, now he's right in between. Meaning not wanting to shoot it at a light speed and hold on this side of the 10 for the 8. And he's got to go a bit of a ways to go past the 10 and get the cut on the 8 in the side, but not go too far. So you may see him ease this one in. Very, say the word easy to miss it when you have to shoot it at this speed.
Nice shot there.
It's maybe too heavy, and this is what I was talking about.
Yep.
Maybe not. Maybe he's got a slim piece of the 8. Oh, he's going to call the kick shot. And that's just kind of what I saw there, George, that he had to hit it really easy or put more speed to get by the 10.
I didn't even think he would attempt that shot.
Nice shot. Nice,
but he's come up with a good shot there. Left just an edge on the right side. What a great experience for a junior to come up and to play in Austria and then come over here and play in this setup and know that he can continue again in Arizona in January, where the first event for 2022 will be, leading up to the Predator World 10 ball, of course. Is he going to get there behind that 10?
No,
not quite.
I wouldn't doubt if McBride is playing, in a week and a half there. They're having a great junior event. It's only 16 players, but at the International. They're in Virginia, Pat Fleming's event. It's going to be one special event, great field. Now they're adding a 1 pocket to it. And all right, Tyler Styer now to go up 3-0.
Well, we've got 60 players in this event, and we got some good names here like Alex Kazakis, Jeffrey DeLuna, Mika Immonen, Torsten Holman. So far on the stream, we haven't had quite that level of play, but on the stream table, we did have Naoyuki Oi on our first 10:30 match. So we got some talent. We got quite a bit of talent. We are sorely missing some American talent, though, I will say.
Well, quite a few locals that I thought would be in the event, or somewhat local, let's say that.
You know, I'll tell you, I'm not at this level. I mean, my Fargo isn't anywhere near where these guys are, but I would be playing in these if I was an aspiring pool player and I was in the 600 range.
Yeah.
I'd be giving it a shot. If anything, for the experience and the seasoning. Although at my age, you call that seasoning, but I'd have to take a shot at it. Fortunately, I don't play for a living, but I think it's a great format that should bring out a lot of the local players into it. I've tried to talk a couple of guys in Tucson into playing in these, and they just don't seem to want to. They $350, I guess, is too steep.
Well, there's up in this area of the country, there's some really fine players that you wouldn't say are favorites to win it, but if they got going,
Sure.
D. Atkins, guy's name.
I've heard the name.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't think Chris Bartram really plays much anymore, but another great player.
Now, Mr. Steady.
Yeah, Robert Frost. Not quite the player those other guys are, but really good player. That's just right down the road from Cincinnati. Missing Billy Thorpe from down the road, so plenty of really fine players from this, upper east Midwest area. So tough little kick shot here. Guess between the 3 and 5, trying to catch the second rail and just lay on the 1. Usually when you're putting spin, you'll put a little more speed though. And it's not going to spread how he wants it, but
No. Looks like he can get what he wants here. I'd like to see him make a match out of this set. Win a couple games here. Just spend some time at the table. There we go. Heading straight down towards his 3 ball. Now, Jeremy, you try to go to the outside of this so you can slide up for the 4, or do you go ahead and use the 2 rails and go past the 8 to get on the 4?
Yeah, I come straight at it and use the angle. Shorter distance cue ball travel, it's a very key component on when you're trying to make decisions. So kind of like a few of the shots we talked about with Evan. Nothing wrong with some of those thoughts or whatnot, but you got to travel that cue ball a lot more distance. It can get away from you. I talk about it all the time. Once you start working through the rack, man, it really kind of breeds confidence. So a good spot here. I think the 5 does go by the 9.
It sure does. This is looking pretty good for him here, this rack. Just got to pocket this ball and stay right there. Oh, I thought he hit that a little full when he first hit it.
Yeah, he hit it pretty nice. Actually, he overran a little bit,
Yeah.
so he needs to make a decision if he's going to come back up to the center of the table or if he's just going to stay on, the left side of our left side of the 7 to play the 6, which looks like the shot. Just go the rail and bump off the rail a little bit, maybe a foot or so. Taking a lot of time.
I think he's gotten a little nervous, it looks like to me.
Well, I think he probably started off. Oh, he's drawing this. Wow, I thought he could hit a high ball and go right by the 8.
I see the shot you're talking about. I like it. And just hit the head rail and come back towards the 8. So you go by the 7 for the 6.
Oh, he's queuing up a draw. That's not going to get there, I don't think. Oh, it killed nice. I thought it was going to be behind the 7, so nice shot. Perfect weather outside today, so the table should play nice as far as that's concerned. Really drops the elbow tremendously, though.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a good thing there, but
notice that on his warm-ups. Remember, he dipped that tip of the cue a little bit.
And now it's gotten treacherously over the 10.
Yeah.
John Lehman's got to pay attention to this one. All ball fouls. Easy to hit this one thick. Oh, he overcut it.
That was tough there. Thought he'd end up in a good spot for, once he got on that 6 ball there, I thought he'd end up in a good spot for the 7. Kind of overran it and got in trouble.
Easy draw stroke between the 9-10 with the cue ball to the rail and over. And it looks like Tyler's changed to the thicker millimeter shaft from Predator.
And he's got these 2 balls to close out the first set, take a 4-0 lead, and we'll be back with the next set. And here we go with set number 2. Tyler to break the balls as Payne won the lag.
Yeah, and maybe this is what I was alluding to as much as anything. Is, you know, he's a pretty good favorite in the match. Got to win matches on this table for sure, but you know, you might toy around with the break, right? I mean, when you're such a big favorite, right? He's not had any success with that break he's used in the first set and now the first game of set number 2. So definitely something I would toy around with, especially with that, you know, that weapon that Tyler has. If he gets confident that that front one's working, and it doesn't have to work every time, but at a pretty decent percentage, I mean, you got to like his chances. So.
Yeah, with his big break, and then actually his opponent is showing him that he's not going to get out.
Yeah. I mean, we can see it's a pretty big favorite,
exactly.
right?
So yeah, why not play with the break?
Yeah.
And learn the table. If you want to win this tournament, you better learn this table.
Right. And it does change here and there as the days go on, but it seems to me that it breaks, you know, we say tough. I wouldn't say tough, but let's just say not easy. You know, everybody, we always say tough because we're so used to seeing the guys the last 10 years just make a ball almost every time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's one thing, but definitely with Tyler's break, I would have to toy around with that myself. So.
Well, you know, when you have the power he has, toying around with it is like every time you get a chance, you learn more from it.
Right.
In different tables.
All right, I think he's going to get a little partial snooker here, it looks like.
Looks like it.
Maybe a full snooker, actually. And I think for the most part, the amateurs are just warming up today. I think they start later, but man, we'll probably have a pretty busy rooming here in a day or two.
Here's a nice opening for Mr. McBride.
Looks like he's gained a pretty good little angle here to draw between the 4-6, down for the 3. Like to get about middle diamond, something like that, on the side rail for the 3. And he's hitting a pretty low tip here, so maybe that's going to draw towards the 6 a little more. Oh no, he hit it sweet. Nice shot there, kid.
Whoa.
And he's good, top inside.
Yeah, looks great. Nice cue ball there. Seven ball can slide off the rail by the 8. Looks like.
I think so. I was just looking at that, George. I think you can squeak it by. Didn't really choose to use much side spin there. Mainly just a kind of a stun, just a little above center. Could have gotten a little closer to the 4, but really still pretty natural, George, to come one row out to the center of the table. Looks like he's hitting kind of a highish ball.
Yeah, he's laying pretty nice here.
And very extreme drop of the elbow, and I know that's something that Tyler is taught and for some shots, but one thing that stands true in my mind is that trying to keep that elbow. You know,
I don't like dropping that elbow at all.
Well, you know,
a couple shots here and there, but
well, it drops a little naturally as you gain momentum, but we'll see it here in a moment. But you know, there's a few teachers out there that teach a major elbow drop, and that's just one thing that I don't see the value in it myself. But you know, there's I haven't studied it quite enough, right? But this is one we'll see it maybe not as much. You see that?
Oh yeah, he comes
really.
Really sure,
big,
he really comes down with it.
Now that one was a little bit. The timing of it was better, so that always makes a difference, no matter what your technique is. Now he got where he can't roll it because he's a little far away from it. You know, that's a touchy thing to roll from that far away. And if he overhits it, he could end up on top of the 8 a little bit. So you may see him shoot this a bit more. Try and use the rail a little bit.
He's coming in at a nice angle regardless of the speed.
Yeah,
so,
nice shot.
Perfect. I'd go ahead and go tight and hit just above the side pocket on the left. Now he went up real high. Don't get too straight.
I was going to say, I like using the third rail there. You don't have to hit super tight, considering where the 9 and 10 is. Just stay off the rail with the cue ball. That way, if you get a little bit straight, you can work the ball. We saw Carlo Beato lose the cue ball, remember, coming tight on the shot.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
I think that was the U.S. Open, though, where that happened to him. But guess what? He came back to win the tournament.
Well, here's for his first game win in the match. And that's the opening game of the first set. Second set, excuse me. And a round of applause for the youngster. Mr. McBride is from Middletown, Indiana. And as I mentioned earlier, I think Tyler's been coaching him, bringing him along. Quite an experience for the young man to be here in this tournament. Move on. Hope to see him in January, and as I think Jeremy said, there's a tournament coming up for him.
I'm not sure if he's in it because it is only 16, but at the International a few years ago, before pandemic, they had a really nice junior event there at the International, along with 160 of the greatest in the world. So it's one of the bigger events in the U.S., that's for sure, and I'm not sure if McBride will make it or not, but there'll be a lot of great American junior players there. It looks like a safety with the cue ball getting on top of the one here. It's not like it at all, calling the push out. Looks like the 5 is a very playable kiss shot, but I'm not so sure the young man will shoot it. The cue ball's a little near the rail maybe to shoot that kiss shot. But nice angle to shoot it. Pretty big pocket on the 5 coming in from that angle. Let that get away a little bit.
Sneaky safe there, being over the 3 ball like he is. But I think Tyler will handle that just fine. Good camera work there.
He's going to need a bump. Don't know if he's going to get the right kind of bump. He's close.
He's close. Yeah. You can hit this with a little bit of inside and stay and hold the line on the cue ball there. Stay underneath the 4.
Yeah, I don't know how much it'll grab or not. It looks like he's playing the safety, it looks like to me. Doesn't want to take a chance.
Yeah,
you got the full snooker here.
Yeah, Tyler seems to be playing this the way you would play a high handicap tournament, you know, against a low Fargo rated player. Just making him earn anything and just leaving low percentage shots. Not taking a chance on ever giving up ball in hand.
Yeah, that, and you know, young man won the first game here in set number 2.
Sure.
the biggest equalizer in this is the shootout. You know, I mean, this young man, he can't run racks like Tyler. He can't break like Tyler, but he can make one ball at a time like any of us almost. So that's the biggest equalizer. So these guys trying to stay away from that. Nice hit. May have pocketed this ball. Now, a little off.
These are pretty open for Tyler. As long as he doesn't get behind the 4, he should be okay here.
And he's a little too thin to maybe pull up the left side rail. That's what I'd love to do. I mean, nothing wrong with cheating the pocket and come across 2 rails above the 5 as well. So regardless of which decision, just be confident shooting it. It's pretty hot. I think it's going to be okay. No. It looked a little hot coming off the first rail.
Yeah.
So
I think he was trying to come underneath that 4.
yeah, normally though you just play the speed to where if the line's not exactly perfect, right, you're still okay.
I agree. I don't think
It's
you
a
want
tough
to come.
kick here.
Yeah.
He tries to hit before the side. Very good chance of whiffing this ball completely. And like I said, it's 1-0. Yeah, that's what I was saying. That looked very difficult to me. I may have looked around the 6 myself, 2-rail kicking around the 6, maybe 3-rail kicking.
3-rail kick into the side,
yeah,
to the backside, or kick that ball to the side pocket. Here's another, a little rack like he had on the last one, where it's, if he just maintains his composure, leaves the cue ball close to the center of the pocket, center of the table, be in pretty good shape here. Got to make sure to avoid the 10 ball here.
Yeah, I think he can pinch it. I think he doesn't really have to move it too much. I don't think, anyways. I think he can hold it. He's hitting a high ball, so he's going around.
Yeah,
Like
and he
you
didn't
said,
want to do
yeah.
that. I saw that, then I thought he might draw the ball straight down towards the 9 and come up,
Back
like
up,
by
yeah.
pinching it, like the way you called it. Well, you were talking about just bringing it straight back.
Just holding
Yeah,
it, yeah. Just a straight low. You're going to lose it 5 or 6 inches, but that's
Yeah.
not really that big of
I
a
thought
deal.
he had more of an angle in that, so that's why I thought he'd go do what he just did. And
Okay.
that 10 ball was big.
Okay, this is going to catch the 10, I think, just a little bit.
And come up.
So decent shot for Tyler. No gimme, but just slightly elevated.
Oh. A lot of those little misses like that, do you feel that has to do with dropping the elbow?
I mean, yeah, like, well,
Yeah,
you know, there's things that happen that make
Sure.
the elbow drop
Yeah.
is the reason why. But like right there, I haven't seen Tyler's timing be Tyler's usual timing, which is really good. You know, he's just been a little quick. So, you know, what happens is when you're a little quick, you do one of two things. You either overhit a little bit and you deflect the ball a little more, so you deflect into a little thicker hit. Or like you said, when you're a little quick, you actually, that's one of the times you can break down a little early
Sure.
with the elbow and miss hit the cue ball just a touch. So now Tyler usually uses the elbow drop more, not as an every shot thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more of a like a power, like draw stroke and stuff like that. So
I was referencing
that's
McBride's,
a little light there.
the way McBride's hitting the ball, and how I've seen that that drop and the tip come up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, there's, you know, differences of opinions on that.
Yeah, there's shots you can use that, and there's shots you have to stay away from.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's necessary at all, to be honest with you. But, you know, I do understand in theory why someone would teach that elbow drop. You know, the further you get through the ball, you're supposed to get more effortless power. But there is a point, I think, that, you know, the elbow drop involves the shoulder, you know. And so what you do is you have this nice bicep and tricep firing downward. And in my opinion, when you involve the shoulder, it almost slows the stroke down because this big muscle is jumping in the way of these two little muscles kind of firing at one time, you know. So it's weird. I wish I really knew the ins and outs, but it's just kind of what I see. All right, difficult situation here.
Does he go for this, or does he just take the cut on the right side and come 2 rails below these 2 balls?
Yeah, but you're not really going to get behind those 2 balls unless you really edge it or you really wrap the corner or something. I don't know. He's hitting downward on this ball. It
looks like
here.
He's going for it. He's spinning away from it and trying to cut it in.
Oh, nice shot.
Yeah,
oh, no
just
love.
like that. Oh. And the one thing he didn't want to do was give up ball in hand, especially at this stage in this game.
No, and you could look at that shot as unlucky, but you know, I think Tyler would tell you that he had some opportunities here in the second game to win this game way earlier than that last shot on the 8. So.
And we're back with Payne McBride to break the balls, leading 2-0. The thumbs up sign for Payne. Has he been breaking from here the whole time, or has he moved his break? I don't recall.
Yeah, I think he broke from the
Cue ball got away.
Excuse me. Yeah, trying to use a similar break as Tyler's. It looks like a little cut.
Mm-hmm. Well, not much to start with here.
Yeah. I like
2
it.
ball, 210 are kind of tied up. I don't think it goes. Nope, it doesn't go by the 10.
I don't really think he can try and advance offensively unless he's shooting this in and going 3 rails with the cue ball or something.
5-0 would get him then, I think. Unless he avoids it completely. Yeah, he can drop by it, I guess. There, yeah.
Yeah, he had a chance to get to the short side of the 2, but
This rack looks like a total mess. Which can be remedied by opening up the 2-3-10.
yeah, well, someone will have to do it shortly.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what he has
I think
here.
you should take real shortly. I think I might take a shot at this 10 ball right here. I don't think it goes off. It won't go off the deuce, but it could cut right in if he banks it across, banks that 1 ball across. He's probably looking to get underneath the 4 here or something. Yeah, just like that. Just try to win that 3rd game.
Yeah, I think he has to dig on this cue ball a little bit. He can't go forward. The 5 and the 8 are really impeding the path of the cue ball. So unless he decides to play a safety and not really try and move on from here because of the ugliness of the rack, but if he's trying to go offensive, I think he's got to dig on the cue ball.
It's a thin cut to dig on it, but that's what he's doing.
Yeah, he should get by the 8 though. Yeah, I think so. And get into the 210. Nice shot.
Well, things just got a little prettier. He's got a steep angle here to cut this ball.
No, he can't cut it in.
Yeah, I was going to say. Wow. Boy, that 5 ball works in his favor, doesn't it?
Very much. Sizing up the jump now over the 10. Possibly bang the 2 away.
I wonder if he would consider the 2 rail kick, the long rail to the head rail and down towards it, like in the 1 pocket.
Yeah. If he didn't have the jump, I think he would. Just this day and age, these guys go to the jump cue quickly. And look how light he hit it and got over it easily, right? So
that's what is just amazing to me, how easy they jump the balls. I mean, the equipment to nowadays, and the fact that a lot of these players will practice their jump shots.
Yeah, I think
they
pretty
work on
playable cross side here. A little bit. He's got to cut it a little bit. Now it looks like he's drawing it a lot. Easy to miss it. A lot of times you want to stun this. Oh, he's playing safe. Okay.
No, just a straightforward shot. Make the ball.
Yeah, he just needs to set up with an angle on the 4, so below the 4 doesn't really appear available. So you want to get above the 4, that way you can cut the 4 onto the 6 and come back above with the cue ball. So somewhere around the spot angle, you don't have to get on the spot, but somewhere around that angle looks to me, wants to draw this back some, should be okay. I would have liked to have had maybe a couple inches more. Should be fine.
Yeah,
though.
he's laying so well. It looks like he can just slow roll this and be.
Yeah.
And
I think he'll go to the rail because he wants to play the 4-6-9, I believe, George, not the 4-9.
oh, okay.
Yeah. I would, anyways. You know, the 4 could lock up on the 6, I guess, but you could actually miss the 9 playing it if you caught the 6 coming in, you know. So I would think it's the 4-6-9. Yeah.
Good call there. I thought he would just play it real soft. He was laying so good for it. He'd just play it real soft and stay.
Well, that's why I was saying, you know, if he gets a little higher on this 3-ball combo, he can roll it easier, keep the 4 near the pocket, cue ball comes up easier. Now he's looking for the side. The 4-6 looks like this shot to me. Wow. This is thin here, George. He could scratch off the rail off the 6, it looks like to me.
Made the 10 to the side.
And that's going to win.
No, he's got to call it.
Oh, that's correct. That's correct. You can win early. You can win on the break without calling it, but you do have to call it after the break shot. So now Tyler gets a lot out of the cue ball. He may be able to avoid hitting the 6 here. Yeah.
Killed it nicely. Well, he needs these 4 balls to get on the board for this set.
Yeah, he better go short side here, in my opinion. Looks like he can go with a high ball, actually, but he could stun as well. But that's why I was wondering, if you have to force it, why force it? You know what I'm saying? You can draw back. The 7's off the rail, nice. The cue ball's on the 8's on the end rail, not too far away, and
I think he's choosing his times to experiment poorly.
well, I don't.
This could put him in a 3-0 deficit.
Well, you know, if you know Tyler, he's not afraid to move the cue ball at times whenever others may not. So, so we'll see. Should be all right, though. Really straight shooter.
Yeah, he is.
Nice shot there.
And he's laying nice for this 2 rail. Come for the 10 ball in the left-hand corner.
Yeah, it's kind of preference.
He doesn't. He doesn't really go forward a lot, does he?
He does.
Does
he does. I actually kind of like the stun here myself, just because the slick felt. When you're hitting the rail and the ball real quickly together, boom, boom, it can, you know,
it
kind of
doesn't
hook
grab
and arc on you. It can do a lot
true.
of funny things, right? The stun is more of something you can predict, even though it may not be the shot you shoot at your pool room in that situation. So.
Tyler to break the balls here, trailing 1-2 in the second set. This wasn't a word I thought I'd be using when I was doing commentary, was Tyler trailing.
You mean this match here?
This match, yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right, he's made 2. He's going to get...
Oh.
No, didn't open up for the combo. Now he can maybe play a safety of some sort. He can bank the 2 back down the middle of the table, but it looks like the cue ball with the high ball is going into the edge of the 8, which is very dangerous. You may scratch off the 8.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'd be worried about that with a high ball. It looks like he might be able to get past it. If he can get between the... oh, he's cueing it with spin, though. So he's going to use the 6-5, maybe? I don't see that edge of the 8 I was looking at right there?
Yes,
That's
exactly.
the one I didn't like. Yeah, I don't get that.
That's a big break for Payne.
Now 2-10 combo. I mean, you know, I probably wouldn't shoot it.
I was going to say that
but
run
I don't
looks
blame
very doable.
But I don't blame anybody
No,
that would.
no,
This is
no.
you know, this is a shootable combo for sure.
I just don't care for the distance between the 2 and the 10. When they're closer, those combos seem to come easier. When they're this far away,
Now, I wouldn't draw the ball safe or none of that. Now, this is when you're just supposed to say, I'm making this, and let me not make it missable by drawing the cue ball. Oh, nice shot, though.
there we go.
So 3-1.
3-1. And now,
A little surprised Tyler didn't see that. Maybe I think he was trying to go between them, but kind of looked like the natural tangent was kind of going into that 8 a little bit, and it's scary on the slit table.
Definitely. I'm totally with you on that.
And the thing is, you know, after the break, especially a crucial game there at 2-1, you know, don't want to harp on him being too much of a favorite like he is, but it does play to where, you know, the rollout is one of the things that goes well for a guy that's a favorite, right? You don't have to gamble after the shot you're left after the break. You can always roll out and know that you're in a great spot against a young man that's going to be a really good player, obviously, McBride, but somebody that Tyler's supposed to definitely handle right now at this stage. So a little shocked he took a little chance with the rollout available also, George, there for Tyler. Now, the one thing for Tyler is he made balls. You make balls, you want to stay at the table. You don't want to give your opponent a chance, and he thought the safety was there.
Could you imagine a golden break here?
Well, we've seen a few already early.
Yeah, we saw a couple. We saw, what, 2?
2 by the same player.
By the same player. One on the side, one in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Opening for Tyler here. He's got a straight in shot on the 1. Fairly straight in, but not much with the 2. I was going to say, how's that 8-10-4 look? Not quite, just off.
It's no
yeah,
good,
it's just
really.
off. No good.
I would try to ice this ball right here, then feather the 2 and go behind the 4 with the cue ball here. Just kind of hold it. Okay, he's trying to get there. Great stroke, and I think he did.
He played position for the side pocket for the run out. Great.
Still got to work on the 8-10. So the one thing, if he wanted, just the way the 5's laying, he could use the 4 to break the 8-10 and hold to the rail there. Yeah.
I was also looking at that, and I was also thinking he could use the 6 and kind of glance off the right side of the 8-10.
No, 6 ain't bad. Yeah.
Yeah, and come up for the 7.
Yeah. You know, if I fell really perfect, now this is the one I was talking about, the 2 rails into it, you know, and just
on the
bump,
inside,
you know.
exactly.
Yeah,
Keep it that way. Yeah, I got you.
That's a little safer, but if I didn't like the 4 at all, I liked your play better.
Yeah.
Using the 6 to maybe open.
As long as you stayed on the right side of the.
Oh, he's drawing it. He's drawing it, so he's not going to toy with it. It's going to get a little thin here, so he's going to have to come 2 rails.
It's going to be hard for him to hold.
Yeah, I think he can.
For the 6.
Yeah, I think he can, though.
It's a steep cut.
Good thing is the 8 goes in the lower right, so there is a short side position for off the 7 he can play as well. He's got to kind of swerve this ball into here with a little right. So a little deflection involved.
Oh, he held it nicely. He killed it.
Yeah.
And he killed it up on top, yeah.
Yeah, he caught a little thick
a
to
little
the pocket,
too thick,
right?
yeah. Yep. And he came over too soft.
This is all right if he doesn't mind. You know, he's got to add a hair of side spin, I think. Just a hair to get into those balls. Yeah, I think you saw him point the cue.
Yeah.
I think if he goes with a straight high, he just barely goes by the 8. I could be way off here. The angles will fool us up here in the booth, but
he's coming awful close to scratching if he cuts this ball in with no English.
yeah.
Yeah. Looks like it to me from here.
Well, if you're accurate about that, that tells me.
No, he's actually a half a diamond away. Oh, he didn't like it.
Yeah. So easy kick, could jump at it.
He didn't take any chances there. Not, you know. And nor should he.
Looks like Jeremy Sosay in the building. Great player from the Northeast. Just had a baby, that's why he wasn't at the U.S. Open, but a guy that finished in the final 32 in the World 9-Ball Championships this year. Long-time great player from the upper Northeast, probably 35 now. All right, this looks like it's going to get over the
Jeremy
side
Sosay?
pocket. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I've met him before. I'm not sure.
That's him on the far corner table practicing. He plays later.
Oh, okay. I did. I think he was in Tucson.
No, he didn't.
No?
Oh, he might have made Tucson. I'm not sure. He might have made Tucson. It was right before the baby came, I think. Okay, he's just got to take his medicine here, knocking this in, getting a little angle on the 7 to come at the 8. Oh, he went into him. Oof.
Yeah.
That could have been dangerous.
Yeah.
Because you're going down into some, you know, lightly, right? Could easily have gotten in the trees over the top of the 8 there and been in a real bad spot on the 7.
Now he, I don't think he has that short side anymore.
No.
So he's going to have to come right at it.
He's going to get it on the 4th and 5th rail, but just enough. Not sure if that was intended. That's a hard way to play the breakout.
Sure. it'd be a hard way to play the billiard too if you're playing 3 cushion.
Well, yeah, and you could end up playing it on the back of the 10. The way that one was going. So,
but it worked out. He opened it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
try and create.
I'm wondering if he's going to play safe here.
I don't think so.
Or he's going to go for it.
These type of shots you should practice every day down the rail.
Yes.
That's the quick stroke I was telling you about.
Yeah.
You notice how quick the delivery was, which is,
what?
you know, in the pool world, very unheard of when it comes to T.Styer. T.Styer is very long. It's, you know, almost a slower delivery than most. So.
Well, he must be feeling pretty sick because right here, just a decent shot making this 8 probably wins him this game.
And the second set.
Yeah, exactly. And it goes to a shootout. Where's cue ball going?
He's okay, and he's a tall young man, so he's going to have to get a bridge, but still not too hampered. He hasn't used his extension, I don't believe.
I bet his nerves are racing right now.
Well, we'll see
Excitement.
in the shootout.
Yeah, we'll see in the
really
shootout.
Be racing, right? So
yep.
Don't threaten going right by it. You got plenty of room. So across the spot is what I would recommend. Oh, that's why I said don't threaten going right by it. Exactly that. You should be okay because he only caught a little piece, but you would be amazed how often players, you know, kind of threaten going close to that.
Yeah, you want to make sure you're far away from it because even if you go too hard, you're going to catch the second rail and come towards the center of the table, and you're fine.
cut it badly. He's gonna need some luck. He got a little bit of it.
Oh, he got some.
You gotta like T.Styer to make this.
Oh, he's playing it in the side. Wouldn't you play that in the corner?
No, he's
no?
No, he's definitely below it. He's got to play this cross side. No, he's played a lot of pool even in the last week on these tables, so should be fairly used to how they bank.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he went way wide, and this is going to lay up by the corner. He wanted to concede it, but he knows he can't. So now we are going to get to a shootout. No doubt about it.
Here we are in the shootout with T.Styer and Payne McBride. Coming out of the corners where the check marks are, shoot the ball in the corner pocket where the arrow is indicating. It's four innings. Best score after 4 innings. They will alternate sides. And if they are tied at the end of 4 innings, they will go to a sudden death and move the ball back 1 diamond. And that small box in the corner up on top of the table, and then shoot from there for sudden death. Payne won the lag. He gets the opening shot and picks the side to start with. Overcut the first one.
Yeah, well, like I said, and most of us know, T.Styer finished second last week in Austria in this format, so you figure he had to shoot plenty of these shootouts. You know, not plenty maybe, but you know,
he shot a few.
He shot a few.
He should be comfortable here.
Yeah, he should.
A lot more comfortable than Payne would be.
Well, he definitely should be very defined, or maybe refined is the way to say it, on how he wants to shoot it, which makes a huge difference. You know.
Let's see how he shoots it.
Yeah, it's
it
just
looks
a
like
high
he's
ball.
shooting it just the way we talk about.
Yeah, pull the cue ball out a little more. Yeah. But there again, that's the quick delivery that I usually am not used to seeing from Tyler. So, and just a little bit, of course. I mean, it's hard for most to notice. I just know him pretty well as far as how his technique and fundamental, you know, how they work together. But so 0 for 1 for both guys. 4 innings here in the opening part of the shootout. If they happen to tie after 4 innings. We'll back the cue ball up at diamond and go to sudden death. smoother there.
Nice cue ball. Hit it just right.
I don't think you were ever. Well, we'll watch Tyler here. Let him shoot, and then I'll talk about what I was going to mention to you, George. But whew, big shot here.
He certainly doesn't want to go too behind.
That was better. That was better on the timing.
All of it looked better.
Yeah, just, you know. Well, what happens is, you know, sometimes he has a little bit of a slow backswing, you know, compared to most, right? So when you have the slower side, like a John Moore, maybe Chris Milling, it almost like the slow makes a little anxiety when you're off, and you take off real quick. Like you can't wait to swing the cue forward kind of like thing. You know what I'm saying?
And then sometimes you kind of hesitate sometimes because you're afraid of hitting it too
you
much.
Pause in the back
pause,
so
exactly.
you don't take off as
exactly.
quick, you know. So
I know exactly what you're saying there.
Yeah. So a lot of heat the young man could put on Tyler Styer here. Shot number 3. More of a center ball, it looks like. Yeah, he kind of drugged the ball into it.
Well, opening for Tyler.
But what I was going to get at is Jeremy Sosa's, when I look at him plays, there's a lot of the great players from New York in that age and that era very much emulate their game after George Sansucci. And I'm not sure if you knew George that well.
I didn't.
Yeah. What a great player.
I've heard the name and I've seen the name, and I know he's out of that area.
Yeah. In my opinion, would have been Hall of Famer, in my opinion, a guy that would have won many, many titles if things would have been a little different. But
big shot here.
Yeah, that was smoother as well. So that's one thing that Tyler definitely, he'll recognize when he's quick. He's very, very much one that usually pays attention to his delivery and what's going on. So I can't say a must make for sure, but well, maybe it is a must. Yeah, it is a must make here for McBride.
Yes, because this would be 4.
Yeah.
Tyler won't even have to shoot this. He's got 2. It's 2-1.
Yeah, so pretty much a sudden death for this young man.
I want to see it go on. I want to see him shoot from the back. I'm with you, Payne.
Yeah. Well, he can chalk that up to experience. Yeah, and Tyler won't have to shoot it, so
he doesn't have to shoot.
He's made 2 out of 3, and Peyton made 1 out of 4. But
we'll be back at 5.
Yeah, stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Another great match coming up later.